Hi guys, good evening. This is Dr. Jenny Yusuf, physical therapist and doctor of physical therapy, creator and founder of Balance and Fall Support Group in Aging Adults, and former vice chair of Global Health in Aging Adults. I'm a certified neurospecialist and certified exercise expert in aging adults. So every Thursday, we interviewed innovator, therapists, clinicians, academicians, and just asking what are the new innovations nowadays, or what are their contributions to their community and of course in their settings. But tonight we have the CEO and founder of the Phoenix Hipwear, which is based in New Zealand, originally from New Zealand, but we have it in USA here in Dallas, Texas. So this is very important, especially osteoporosis. We have physical therapy month. We really need to learn more about what are the different things that we can share for our clients, and fall prevention, knowing that we are in balance and falls. So Natasha is the founder, and then she has English and Psych Bachelor of Arts in English and Psychology as a background, and then she has more than 15 years business background, and then she will going to share us what are her passion and how she comes up with a Phoenix Hipwear. All right, welcome Natasha.
Hey, well, thank you so much. It's great to be here. It's great to get the chance to talk to you and talk to this group. So thank you.
My pleasure. So I know you're in New Zealand right now. What's the weather there?
Today, not so nice, but we are coming into spring, so we're the opposite of where you're going. But it has been nice. It's getting to the point where I can get out to my garden more. So yeah,
You
nice.
have a nice background there. Yeah. So, Natasha, tell us more. Thank you so much. I see it in Facebook and some of the online about the Phoenix Hipwear. So I
hmm
check and then connect with you because how does it work? In my setting right now in acute rehab, but of course I'm a home health therapist, acute rehab setting. I have many patients who had a fall. We have lots
hmm
of fractures, and they have lots of hip fractures, so post of hip replacements and everything. And how did you come up with this hip protector?
Yeah, so look, I've been, as you said, working in this space of hip protection for about 15 years now. And there's been a few iterations along the way, with Phoenix being the best that we have. So look, I got into it through an interesting path with somebody who was involved in the whole falls and fracture space and recognizing that, hey, this is a really big problem. What is there that we can do to help reduce the risk? And back then, hip protection was it was pretty clunky. It was pretty big and uncomfortable. And that's kind of was my entry point. And then what my mission since then has really been about how do we redevelop it to incorporate into whether it's with PTs like yourself, whether it's through individuals who have identified that they're at risk through osteopenia, osteoporosis, right through to senior living. We work with senior living who have residents in memory care, for example, who are high falls, high risk factors, and we work with them. So it's really expanded over the years. And look, we're excited to see people taking more ownership, I suppose. And you would see this in your practices, people looking for solutions. So that's kind of where we came into it. And look, one thing I do want to say is, look, we say we're one more tool in the toolbox. We're not the solution. We always say start with falls prevention because you want to
Exactly.
prevent as many falls as you can. However, what we also know is you're not going to prevent or predict every single fall. So my focus right now is really about educating PTs and anyone in that healthcare space, as well as people who are taking their own health into account, is add another layer, go
Mhm,
the extra mile. It's like putting on a bike helmet. You don't go out cycling thinking you're going to fall off,
mhm.
but you put the helmet on so that if you do, you've got that protection. It's the same thing. Falls prevention, layer in injury prevention so that if you do fall, your hips have just got that extra layer to help.
I like that, like the analogy that you compare it. And then there are many places now that it's a must to have a helmet.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
even in our country in film, but they're still not just following it. They feel that it's just too close places. I will not use my helmet. But it's a good analogy, knowing
Yeah.
that your mindset is not to have an accident, but
No.
it's just like a protection when you're on the road to wear the helmet. If ever you fell, you will not have a TBI or head injury. Same thing,
Correct.
it might happen that you will have fall at some point, but our goal is not to be injured heavily. All right. So that's
Correct.
great. Great point. And thank you for inventing this, you know. Yes, it's nice. Can you show it to us? Why?
Yeah.
I know it is a 3D something. What do you mean by 3D lightweight and how it's different than other hip protectors we have? That's so nice. And thank
Yeah.
you. I have my,
So hip protection traditionally, and even the hip protector that I previously developed, were based on foam technologies. So foam works really well to protect, prevent injury, or to protect, or to reduce force, but it's really thick. You have to have it quite thick to make it work, and quite big. So I started looking in sports, because there's always money in sports and there's always money for protection in sports. So I started looking at sports and saying, what are they doing? And that's where I've always kind of looked at this future development. This is a really new technology, and it's a company called Carbon. And they've got an amazing website with lots of information, and we've got information on our website as well. But basically, it's 3D printed, but not in the sense of, if you think about, go to Best Buy and see a 3D printed box. It's very different than that. This is, and I don't know if you can see through here, but you can probably
yeah,
see color. Okay, so it's
really nice.
breathable. It's got holes all the way through it. It's a lattice structure. So,
Mhm.
in a nutshell, it works in two components. The material that it's made out of is really high impact performing. If it was just a solid piece, it would work really, really well. But what they've done is they have this really amazing technique of 3D printing it using light and resin, and this is all created in a computer, and then it prints layers up. And so the structure is also a way that it protects. So now you've got a structure that protects and a material that protects, and you've combined it, and that's how we can get so thin. So you can see it's super thin.
Mhm.
It's not much different. I've got my iPhone here.
Ah,
It's not much different. In fact, I think it's a little bit thinner, but much lighter.
uh-huh,
It's
yeah, it's very light.
yeah, it's about 2 ounces. It's super light, flexible,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
bends. It's also a really cool material that warms and softens.
Oh,
So if you put this on your body and wear it, after about half an hour, you'd see that, and you took it out, you'd see it softer. And so that makes it wrap even better around the hip area. So that's the Shield. Really cool technology. I've got lots of information on our website, and lots of tests that we've done to check its biomechanical performance. And then we said, okay, well, this is great, but it's got to sit in the right place. So what can we make that is something that's really comfortable and able to be worn? And that's the second part, which is, now these are the active shorts. We do have also underwear for those who are wearing it more often.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's like a full fit. It's like a high-waisted cotton garment, also with pockets on the side. So our senior living customers or clients that we support, they're using that because they're wearing it 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are incontinent. It fits over an incontinence garment. So that's what that is. This one, you'll see on our website, lots of women who are, so they're osteoporosis, osteopenia, they're aware of their bone health concern, but they don't want to give up the activities they love. So they're not wearing it 24/7. They're putting it on. In fact, I just got a photo this morning of a woman out mountain biking in the middle of nowhere on a beautiful top of a trail, hiking, playing pickleball, traveling, pretty much any activity that now increases your risk of the fall. So think about the bike helmet, but you don't have to wear it all the time. So you'd put it on, do that activity, and then take it off. And it's a sports style garment. Can be worn on its own, under leggings. So I've got people wearing over leggings, under pickleball clothing, under normal clothing. So it's really versatile. So that's the that's the product as a whole. They work in combination, but the shield is the really cool technology that is, really cutting edge and being used by some top football teams in their helmets.
Mhm.
Not our
Mhm.
shield, but exactly the same material, the same technology, the same ladder structure, because it really is amazing for performance.
That's really good. Yeah, especially it looks like a honeycomb appearance, right? Like,
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So there's an impact in all, and then when you describe, it's like breathing, it can breathe and lightweight.
Yeah,
So if ever you say, is it water resistant, knowing it will, you say something
yeah,
about like it will become softer and flexible later.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
so when
you.
you wear it, it becomes soft and flexible. I
Mm-hmm.
do have somebody who uses them when they go swimming,
Yeah, that's
which,
what they say. Mm-hmm.
yeah, my first thought was, where's the impact when you're swimming? But what they explained to me is it's not the swimming, it's the walking around the side of the pool, getting in, getting out, is a
Ah.
risk factor for falling, and obviously a lot of the pools are surrounded by concrete, so they wear them when they're swimming. I'd love to actually there's lots of garment options, down the track. We'll make leggings, we can make swimwear, basically anything, any activity that you can put these in. But yes, you can put these in water, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point. Because it's slippery in the pool, like in the
Yeah,
getting out,
yeah,
getting in and out of the pool. Yes, that's really
absolutely.
good. This is very helpful, especially on that. So how does it protect for the osteoporosis? Because they have brittle bone, of course, and then that helps. So your passion comes up by producing this. And do you have any other support, like your colleagues who help you?
Yeah, yeah. So, my co-founder, he doesn't get involved in so much the everyday, but he has. I've known him for many, many years. He is in senior living, so he owns senior living, in the US, and he just recognized many years ago when I met him that there was such a need in senior living for hip protection. I mean, ideally, everybody living in senior living should be wearing these all the time. It would be my goal. Um, and what he saw was that the existing products were no good, and so he really loved the way I was innovating and the way I was thinking, and the way many years ago I was thinking about how these active women could be protected before, way, way, way before they get to senior living. I also have another colleague who's based in Austin, who helps with the support of senior living. And then I have my engineering and impact specialists in New York. And they've helped in the whole development and coordination and testing. And then I work with a great guy who's got a warehouse up in Massachusetts where we have all our product and we ship from. And then beyond that, I've built some really great relationships with PTs. Look, I have to say, PTs are my champions, because, well, you get it, right? You get it. You're at the front line of clients, patients, people who are looking for solutions, people who are either had falls or concerned of falls, had fractures or concerned about fractures. You work across so many different areas, whether it's in private practice, whether it's supporting home health, supporting senior living. So I always say, I love my PTs. So my big focus right now is building relationships with PTs, getting more PTs who are aware that this is an option. This can be something as an additional tool, because there's nothing worse than being able to say, well, there's not really much more I can do. So now it's like, okay, here's another thing you can do just to give that extra assurance. So yeah, I'm building relationships with PTs where they then talk about it and educate. I've got some great PTs who are actually have got some good online communities, who are sharing it that way. So yeah, love my PTs.
Thank you so much. That's really good, especially October is physical therapy month. So
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely we can share this information to our colleagues. And your express already we answer majority of the questions, like how the 3D works, the 3D design works, and how Phoenix Hipwear protector different than the other hip protectors out there. And then
Mhm.
also how you describe, but who is this for? I think you said already the facility, the elder aging adults in the assisted living, and even the active people doing
Yeah.
the active hip wear. So they're doing it.
Yeah.
This is for all ages then.
It really is. It's if you have got a concern about your bone fragility, now whether that's because you've got osteopenia all the
Mhm.
way through to osteoporosis, one of the things I hear all the time is a frustration from 65-year-old women who have finally had a DEXA scan for the first time,
Mhm.
find out that they have osteoporosis, and are wondering like, what now? There's a lot of fear around that. There's a lot of frustration that they didn't know this earlier because we don't generally get DEXA scans earlier.
Mhm.
So I would say anybody who, if you've seen your mother or your grandmother go through osteoporosis, if you've known somebody who's fallen had a hip fracture, it becomes very real. Um, and then, as we say, the risk of falling and the risk of fracturing just increases with age and increases with, the lack of mobility. So that's why senior living. But I wanted to really, there's no other products in hip protection that speak to the active younger woman. They don't want to wear a big bulky medical
Mhm.
garment that looks like something you'd wear if you were living in a rest home in a senior living community. They want something that looks like a sports item that they would put on, and that's what this is, and that's why it's so exciting.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's it's about getting ahead of the problem. Um,
Yes.
one of the one of the things I always say is for me, as you say, I'm very obsessed with that protection. It's that sliding doors effect. So I think about a woman who is, say, 65. She loves hiking. She loves going out with her family or friends or biking. And she goes out and she has a fall and she's got no protection and she fractures a hip. Everything changes. That life now is different. The
Mhm.
options are limited now. Now, yes, recovery and all the rest of it, but there's a change and there's fear. Now, I think about that same woman wearing these and they have the same fall, but they get back up. And it
Mhm.
was just a fall. It wasn't a life-changing event. It was just a fall. And now they get to
Mhm.
go home and say, oh, that was tough, but glad I got my hip protection on, which is what I get in emails. And then they can get up the next day and go do the ride again. They're not recovering in a hospital. So that's it's a really simple way to keep living the life you love. Don't change your life.
Yeah, good point. I really like that analogy. Especially, it's very important. We have many cases. Once you had a fall, and people who had a fall, will have like 6 times for you to have another fall, and then
Correct.
everybody will have a high fears of falls, and their confidence will be off. And majority of them will just tendency decrease socialization and decrease activities nowadays. So
Yeah.
with those hip protection that you're saying, like there are different cases. So now because one story that you have, she fell, but it's not a life-changing event because she doesn't have the fracture, no hospitalization, of course. So there's a little bit less impact and she's able to get up. So
Yeah.
with this, we can also incorporate for our patients who had a fall before. Once we
Correct.
had it, then you can add this in your daily garments, and then your confidence a little bit much better that you will be more able to do things that you don't able to do before, like maybe to try again dancing, do
Yeah,
again or like biking.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
woman dancing. Yeah. Look, I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. And what you would know is that the lack of confidence leads to lack of movement, lack of activity,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to the muscles don't work quite the same. The balance isn't quite as good. And it's this really downward spiral. And that's where I get passionate about is like we're talking about a really simple thing. Put that at the top of the equation and you can avoid, well, not every, look, I will say this all the time. This
Mm-hmm.
is no 100% guarantee. There's no guarantee that you won't still fall and have a fracture, but it reduces your risk significantly. So studies show if you're wearing a hip protector at the time of a fall, you've got about a 69 to 80% reduction in risk of having a fracture. So
Okay.
it's a significant risk reduction.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is really simple. It's effective the minute you put it on. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to wait 6 months to see the results. You don't have it. You put it on. You slip it in the pocket on the side of those gear and out you go. And immediately you've increased your chance of getting back up. So if you can stop that downward spiral by a simple hip
Mm-hmm.
protector in your pocket, why would you not? Like, why would you not? There's no downsides, no side
Mm-hmm.
effects, no, no
Yeah,
side effects.
yes,
It's
because its
effective.
material is different. And quick question, Natasha, just my personal
Yeah,
curiosity. Do you have studies like I know because of the hip, which is the joint, this is where it's been placed, right? On the
correct.
sides, the greater troughs, wherever is the our head and the ball joint. So where's the bony prominence? So how did you come up that we will protect that side, knowing that it's really, do you have studies that every time people fell, this is the most hit part? How about the coccyx bone or how about the sacrum? Did you come up
Yeah,
like how about the all the butt, or
yeah,
because you have
yeah.
gluteus max? But how you come up? Let's just protect sides. This is are the bones. That's it.
Yeah. So, good question. And I get asked a lot, what about all these other places we can protect?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is we can protect lots of other places as well. Um, it's the hip fracture, the greater trochanter, as you talk about, that's the one that causes death and disability. So, we can protect the elbow, right? We can provide elbow protection. If you fall and fracture your elbow, that's painful and terrible, but it's probably not going to have the same outcome and same impact on your life as a hip fracture. So
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to look at what is the fracture point that causes the most long-term problems, the most
Okay.
injury, the most death, the most disability. Um, and what we know is that, and some people ask me, can you fracture without the fall? Yes. Look, if you're very old and you've got really bad osteoporosis, so we're talking at the far end, a simple, twist can crumble your bones, as you would know. This is not going to do anything for that. But around 9 out of 10 hip fractures are the result of the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't do anything about the 5% of people who just spontaneously fracture. That's it, beyond our scope. But for the 9 out of 10 people whose fractures happen because they fell, that's where this fits. And so yeah, major death disability issue with a hip fracture versus some of the other fractures.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. So, in summary, guys, we just want to say that this is not the mere answer in fall prevention. This is just an adjunct and then an overlaying to prevent you from having an life-changing effect of hospitalization and then also trauma that you fell. So, this will be a good reminder. Still, we need to be active, have an active lifestyle, 150 minutes of exercise every day, connect with your therapist and other community healthcare clinicians in your area, be active, check your nutritions, check your doctors. We have many education providing. How's your home? How about your footwear? When was the last time you checked your eyesight? And we also have studies that hearing deficits will be at high risk for falls, all right? So this is another layer for your protection, and connect with Natasha if you have any concerns on how you can avail it and how does it works if you are in a facility, if you are a clinician or physical therapist and you're looking forward to learn more because you're working in assisted living and you want to connect with them, connect with her. I will put her emails in this interview, and then definitely she will be very helpful for you. So let's connect and help our aging and older adults be active again. All right. Natasha, any last comments or remarks, please?
Yeah, no, just look, absolutely reach out. One of the things that we've got it set up now so that if you are a physio or PT who does want to supply this in some way or recommend it, you don't have to stock it. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to buy it. We have it set up really easy that we manage all that process. All you have to do is make that recommendation. And we can talk about there's different programs we have and how that works from an individual, client to client through if you've got a Facebook community, we have
Mhm.
people who do that. Or if you are working in senior living, we have another program for that. So
Mhm.
reach out to me, would love to talk. We just want to get more and more people aware that this is an option to offer. So, hey, thanks for the opportunity. What you're doing is amazing.
Thank
And
you.
as I say, I love the PTs. I love the way you are focused on outcomes. It's all about solutions. And that's, there's groups out there who like to talk about the
Mhm.
problems. What I love about PTs is you help solve the problems. You actively go out there and help solve the problems. So, it's fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, my pleasure. And thank you also to our colleagues, of course, not only PTs, even the occupational therapists can definitely connect because
Yeah,
they're seeing and they will going to help. Natasha, my occupational therapist colleagues will comment on me. Jenny, how can you PTs will going to put this without the OTs?
definitely. Well,
So,
talk, yep, OTs, happy
so
to talk to
now,
OTs. Oh,
yeah, because
absolutely.
the OTs will going to teach the PTs or the patient how to put it in their pants and shorts.
Exactly. Yeah,
All
exactly. Yeah.
right.
Look, as I say, it's a team effort. It's about all working together
Exactly.
with the client at the center and how do we give them the best options in life to keep. It's all about my big mission. It's stay active, be protected. I mean, that's my tagline.
Yes.
Stay
Mhm.
Just stay active, keep moving, keep doing things, and anything we can do to wrap this person in whatever solutions, whether that's services or products or training, to keep them active is what we're all about.
Thank you. Natasha, what is your email? How can we connect with you?
Yeah, so website is phoenixhipsactive.com.
Mhm.
Or if you're more on the senior living side, go to phoenixhips.com. Add on the Phoenix Hips Active if you're more around the younger active. But you can still get to it from Phoenix Hips.
Oh,
And Natasha at phoenixhips.com. Or on the website, go to the contact page. There's a place where you can click to open my calendar and make a time to have a call with me or Zoom with me. So,
mhm.
and I do love having chats to anybody who wants to talk. So, plenty of ways to contact, and you'll just put my details in the in
Yes,
this.
it's really.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you, Natasha,
yeah.
for this opportunity to connect with you and also to share to our followers, to our clinicians, to our aging and older adults that we have this kind of innovations. Because I saw a hip protector and it's so bulky. It's like a foam. And then you can really see that she has it
Yeah,
but at least now it's more discreet, and then
yeah,
it's more like we have a great one. So that's good. At least we have more and more better
yeah,
technology as we progress. Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Brilliant. Hey, thank you so much. Lovely to talk.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. It's me again, Dr. Jenny. Thank you for listening, following us. And if you have any questions, connect with us with the Balance and Fall support group in aging and older adults. You can connect with us in LinkedIn. Even Natasha is in LinkedIn. So you connect with her. Yeah. So you can message us if you have any questions. And if you have any specific ideas or things that you're looking forward, let me know, and then we can connect to the right people and then connect with them and learn more. All right. So it's me, Dr. Jenny. It's another thanks God it's Thursday. I'm your physical therapist and geriatric clinical specialist. And all right. And good night. Thank you so much and see you again next